afternoon to everybody. Yesterday we had discussed some input-output statements in Python. Actually, the input function is used for to read input from the standard input device. So input is the function. By using that function, we can read the values from the standard input device. Similarly, print function is used to print the values on the monitors. So print function is an output function, input is an input function. So the syntax of the input function is variable equal to input of prompt. So you have to write name input of prompt, whatever the prompt you require. So this is the value. By default, the system will read by default, the system will read string data types. So it is necessary to convert string data type to integers. For that purpose, you must write type conversion integer. For floating points, we have to write the type conversion float. So sometimes it is necessary to read multiple number of inputs. Suppose I want to read 3 inputs or 4 inputs in a single line separated by one blank space. In this case, actually, so sometimes it will be happen. Actually, they will during the examinations they will tell like that the first line of input contains so and so number of values. Suppose I want to read 4 integers in a single line. In this case, so it is necessary to read a multiple number of inputs. In such a case, we use the map function. The map function will read the inputs and map the values to the variables. So actually, map function has two parameters. One is the typecasting parameter. Another is called as input dot split. So this is the map function. Variable 1, variable 2 equal to map. Type conversion, you have to write the type conversion. Type input dot split. So it's suppose you want to separate the input by comma, you have to write like this map. Similarly, we have some output functions. So similarly, we have some output functions. The output function is a print function. Actually, we use print directly. Print directly like this we can use. But this type of usage is useful for only for lab whenever you are doing labs or personal work. However, so in examinations it is necessary to separate the values. So in such a case, so you have to use separators. Suppose I want inputs are separated by comma. Suppose there are 5 inputs, I want to 5 outputs. The outputs must be separated by comma. In such a case, so we can use the separator. By default, the separator is blank space. Suppose I want another separator, comma or hash, star like this. We want any separators, we use a separator. So you have to write SCP, separator, SCP, the separator. Similarly, at the end, we have the end indicates new line is the end. Suppose at the end, I want some special characters. In this case, we use end equal to /n, like this we can write it. So by default. Similarly, we have the formatted. So for formatted, we use like this. We use flower brackets, and the value will be substituted in this way in the above flower in the flower brackets. So formatted, this is suppose is writing the old style value of a equal to comma plus like this. That's old style. So this is the format. This is the format of so substituting the values of the variables in a particular place in a string. So in order to substitute such a values, we use this format statement. This is also format. Like this, we can use format. Similarly, it is necessary to format the output in suppose I want a decimal point, I want to format a decimal point. So I want to format a decimal point, we use, so it's such a format, percentage. These are the different output statements. Now we discuss how these functions will be worked by using some editor. We go for Python 3.6 later version. We have the actually Python, there are two versions, to Python 2nd and Python 3rd. So Python 2 is the lower version. Don't use the lower version softwares. Always use the higher versions. So I will use Python 3.6 editor. So actually there are different Python IDEs. So one is Python IDEL, another is Jupyter Notebook, Spider. Actually there are different versions. Somebody, if we are the software professionals, so software professionals are used Jupyters or Spiders. Professionals. So you can also practice Spider or Jupyter, no problem. Otherwise, if you are using lower version, suppose I want some middle lower version. So in this case, use ideally, sir. I want some simple way. In this case, we use ideally. Actually, if you follow Spider or Jupyter, so then it's one very useful, because in machine learning also it is very useful. That's why. Well, I have two versions, 2.75 and 3.6. So see that it is a lower version, Python 2.7.5. It's a lower version. Don't use, that means it is a Python, here it is a Python 2.7.5. It's a lower version. So lower, so this will be considered as Python 2. Actually, we don't want Python 2. Actually, we go for Python 3. So if you check the version also. So this is the Python 2.7.5 version. So you have to download the softwares from, it's a free, no problem, it's a free open source. This is Python 3.6.8. This is the latest version. So you can download Python 3 or Python 3. So Python 3.2, 3.6, 3.5, like this way, 3.4, we have different versions. So among them, you have to, anyone you can do. So first, in introduction, I already told that Python is interactive mode. So you can run from command prompt. You can test the statements from command prompt also. Suppose this is the Python prompt, 3 greater than symbols are the Python prompt, or you can write the program in a shell. Suppose I want to test the statement here, print. Good. Yes, you get the answer. 5 plus 6, 5 plus 7. 12. So it's a Python prompt. So you can write Python prompt print. Good. So like this, we have the prompt. So actually we can run it prompt. This is come. So it is also possible to write it shell. Actually, I want to run the program from the shell program. So you have to take new file. So this is the window we will get. In this window, you have to write. Suppose I want to perform addition of two numbers or addition of small program because students must know different programs and formats. I want to know all the formats. That's way I'll give some small examples. Suppose I want to read two values. Suppose a equal to input in Python. So for students who are beginning, freshers are, so no need to explicit declaration of variables. You have to write the programs directly. So input, we have the function input. Suppose enter first value. B equal to input. I will show both the all the styles. Enter second value. C equal to A plus B. Print C. There is no explicit declaration of variables. Go open and close the braces. So this is the format. All the lines, student. So you remember. So Python is an indented programming language. That means all the statements of a block will begins from the same column. Otherwise, you will get an error. చూడండి. సో మొత్తం ఒక బ్లాక్గా ట్రీట్ చేసినప్పుడు ఆ బ్లాక్లో ఉన్న స్టేట్మెంట్స్ అన్నీ కూడా ఒకే కాలం నుంచి బిగిన్ అవ్వాలి. అలా బిగిన్ అవ్వకపోతే మీకు ఎర్రర్ వస్తుంది. చూపిస్తాను. ఇది ఇప్పుడు ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఉంది. సో ఫస్ట్గా సేవ్ చేసుకోవాలండి. సేవ్ చేయకుండా రన్ చేస్తే ఎర్రర్ వస్తుంది మీకు. సోర్స్ must be saved. So first of all, you have to save the program. prog1 program. Python programs have an extension .py. So all programs have an extension .py. Py is the Python program. Then you have to run F5. So enter first value 5. Enter second value 6. So you see the answer. 5 plus 6, what is the value? 11. We get 56. Is it correct? No. The first value is in 5. The second value is 6. 5 plus 6 is what? 11. So already told in input statement, the default return type of an input function is a string. The default return type of an input function is a string. That's why system will treat it as a 5 as a string, 6 as a string. 5 plus 6 means 5 and 6 are concatenated. That means that's why you get the answer 56. Suppose I treated as first value 5, second value 6, total 11. But I got 56. What is the reason? Why I got 56? Suppose I want 5 plus 6, 11. I want the answer is 11. But I got 56. Is there any mistake in my program? Yes. So suppose I given addition of two numbers. If I given addition of two numbers, so see that. I want addition of two numbers. So first value, second value. So if I give the return, so whenever I am using input function, the return type of the input function is a string default. That's why what are the value you are entered, the system will, that value will be treated in a string format. So 5 is a string, 6 is also string. 5 plus 6 plus is a concatenation. 5 is concatenated with 6. So finally you got 56. That's why C value is 56. Actually, it's what I expected. I expected 11. So in this case, you want integers, you must write type conversion already told in input functions. So that's way. So integer, you must write the type conversion integer. Similarly, integer, you must write type conversion. See. Enter first value 5. Enter second value 6. 5 plus 6 is 11. You find the difference, I think. So if you are not the right return the type conversion, actually, so we need a type conversion. If you are not specify the type conversion for an input statement, the default return type of the input function is a string. The system cannot give any error or any warning. So whenever using Python, so whenever you are using input function, the default input type is a string. You remember. Suppose I want to read an integers or a floating point number. It is necessary to write the type conversion. Otherwise, whatever the value you are entered will be considered as a string. So I already shown in first example. So 5, 6, without writing the type conversion, we got 56, not 11. So by writing the type conversion, so this is called as typecasting, type conversion. When I write the type conversion, then I got the 11. The system cannot show any error because the return type of the input function is an string. That's why. So they consider they want string, I think. So this is the way. That's way. So during the reading the input. So first of all, you must concentrate what type of value to be read. Integer, floating point, or string. The default is a string. In the case of strings, no need to specify the typecasting. Suppose you want floating point or integers, it is necessary to write the typecasting. Without writing the typecasting with input function, the system will be, whatever the value will be you are entered, the system will be taken that input as a string and it will perform the operations on the strings, that's all. That's way you must write type conversion. That's way already told because so some easy students also there, so you have to understand them. Suppose you want float. So 5, 6.7, 11.7. First value is an integer, second value is a floating point. There is no explicit declarations. So this is about input reading single value. You can write with prompt, without prompt. Suppose I don't want any prompt, sir. Yes, no problem. You remove the prompt. If you do not want any prompt, you remove the prompt. Suppose this is called as a prompt. So actually I don't want sir, I don't want prompt, sir. Yes, remove it, no problem. So S 5, 7.8, 5 plus 7, 12.8. So this is the way. Suppose I already told. So we can read multiple number of inputs by using map function. Suppose I want to read A value and B value. A and B will be in the same line. Suppose if you give like this. So what they told that both the inputs are two lines. Suppose 4, 5.6 error. So input function will read the one value from first one line. Suppose you want to read two inputs in a single line, or you want to enter three inputs or four inputs in a single line. You cannot enter two inputs in a single line or four inputs in a single line by using input function. In this case, suppose I want two inputs, A and B values, 4, 5.6, system will not take. You will get the error. So in this case, I want two values, A and B, both are integers. A, comma, B, you have to write map function. Map function has two parameters. One is typecasting, comma, input dot split. Input dot split. So 4, 5, 9. We can read first value is 4, second value is 5. 4 plus 5, 9. So A is 4, B is 5. 4 plus 5 is 9. So this is the function. Suppose I want to separate the input by comma. Only comma. Source must be same. Sorry, invalid. Comma must be enclosed within quotes. That is the mistake. Sometimes they will ask the inputs must be separated by comma. In this case, 4, 5. The inputs are separated by comma. They will ask the exams. So the first line of input will contain 6 values. All the values are separated by comma. All the values are separated by blank space. Or only two formats are there, either comma or blank space. Suppose you want to only comma or blank space. So if you want blank space, you have to write split, that's enough. Split without any parameter. Suppose you want to separate the data by comma. In this case, you have to write like this: A, B, map, int, split, bracket, comma. So in this case, the inputs are separated. This is necessary to, you can read both any number of values, 3, 4, 5, 6, any number of values that you want. So you can read that those number of values. Suppose I want 3, 4, yes, no problem. Sum equal to A plus B plus C plus D, any number of values. Enter 4, 5, 6, 7. 1 minute. Okay, sum. I written C, that's why. Four, 5, 6, 7. 22. All the inputs are separated by comma. Suppose I want to print these 4 values, A, B, C, and D values. If I written like this, print A, B, C, D. Four, 5, 6, 7. 4, 5, 6, 7, 22. All the values, all the outputs are separated by blank space. By default is already told that by default separator is blank space. I want separators. I want the separator, comma, separator equal to hash. Four, 5, 6, 7. Yes, 4s, 5s, 6s, 7. Attend, I want star. After 22, I want so some symbol dollar. Attend, I want dollar, comma, n equal to 4, comma 5, comma 6, comma 7. $22 at end. So by default is the blank space. I want any special at the end. We can use end equal to whatever that is. Blank space, comma, dollar, percentage, whatever you want. So this is the default separator. And substitution of the variables. How to substitute? Suppose I want to substitute A equal to B equal to C equal to D equal to. So actually we write A, actually this is the old style actually. A equal to comma A comma B equal to comma B comma C equal to comma C D equal to comma D. Four comma 5 comma 6 comma 7. A equal to 4, B equal to 5, C equal to 6, D equal to 7. Actually this is a actually we got the output, no problem, but we are not get the correct, we are not using the format, so we can use another style. You must use the styles. A equal to B equal to C equal to D equal to dot format A comma B comma C comma D. Four comma 5 comma 1 minute. 4 comma 5. A equal to 4, B equal to 4, C equal to 6, D equal to 7. This is the format style. There you are got the blank space. You find the difference. So there you got the blank space after the value. Here you cannot get the blank space because sometimes you will get some format mistakes. Here you cannot get the blank space after the value. While in that case, you got the blanks, you will get the blank space after the value. So here you see the difference. A equal to 4, B equal to 4, C. Automatically you will get. Suppose I want comma, comma, DBAC is good to, oh yes, if you write the, if you change the orders, it will be first value will be substituted in first parenthesis, second value will be substituted in second parenthesis, third value will be substituted in third parenthesis, fourth value is substituted in fourth parenthesis. I will show. Four, 5, 6, 7. A equal to 4, B equal to 5, C equal to 6, D equal to 7. Suppose if you want to change the order, D, C, B, A 4 comma 5 comma 6 comma 7. See the difference. What are the in format, what are the value are mentioned. The first value is substituted at first parenthesis, second value is substituted at second parenthesis, third value is substituted at third parenthesis. Otherwise, you can write any order, but I want the correct substitutions. In this case, you have to write names. Sir, I will specify in any order, but I want the correct value. So in this case, you have to write there A, B, C, D. In this case, you will get the whatever the order you will end given, it will be substituted in a right manner. 4, 5, 6, 7. 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. You have to write the value, not string substitution. 1 minute. While in the case of strings, it will be correct, I think. Yeah. Yeah. You have to mention the value there, then only you will get the correct answer. Actually, so what are the, if you write D is the first value, so D will be printed first. If you specify second, D will be executed in second. 4 comma 5 comma 6 comma 7. 4 5 6 7 4 7 6. So what are, because you are given D value the first, that's why. So if you write A B C D, you will get the correct values. A B C D. Five, 6, 7. Yes, 4 5 6 7. No problem. Yes. So if it is a strings, it is also strings. Print name dot format name equal to KVR, comma greeting equal to syntax error. Okay, one parenthesis is missing, that's why. One parenthesis is missing. Four comma 5 comma 6 comma 7. KVR wishes happy birthday, because so name equal to KVR. So again, what are the wish greeting is happy birthday. Suppose if I change the greeting somewhere, again we will get format. Suppose I want to change the order. Print KVR. Reading. Four, 5, 6, 7. KVR is happy birthday from KVR. Yes. So what are the change the orders? No problem. So what are the values? So if it is assigned to a name, if you assign a within a brackets, no problem. That value will be substituted. Similarly, suppose I given x equal to 556.7489. Print value of x equal to percentage 5.2f comma percentage x. Four comma 5 comma 6 comma 7. So I already given 5.2f. Sorry, it's a mistake. 5.2 not correct. It's not correct. Value of x equal to percentage. Mm, formatted another style. Mhm. There is some small mistake. I think it's we need some formatted style. Percentage 2f. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, there is some floating point difference in there. I will show tomorrow. I will show the floating point format.